the Warner Bros. Shield, the Paramount Mountain, the Columbia Torch Lady, the MGM Lion. All these are some of the most iconic logos that come from the entertainment industry, like being films in theaters, and home media releases, or the end of TV programs. And all these companies had their logos in different forms over the years. While some have riveted us with fantastic animation or nice majestic music, something that gets you excited for the future, others have failed to make their impact on viewers, or just fade from memory, or even disgust or scare us. And this is where I come in, where I take a look at certain companies, look at their portfolio, and rate them from worst to best. As a success of my logo year special released on my 27th birthday, I want to do more logo critiques. Instead of focusing on a certain date, now look at what a specific company has to offer. Now we begin the first episode of Logo Rankings. The focus of this first episode would be a video division, MGM Home Entertainment, been around since 1973's MGM Home Video, back when the home video market was in the works. In 1979, they would team up with CBS Video Enterprises and form MGM CBS Video. They would see their first batch of releases in October 1980. Shortly after, 1982 proved eventful as CBS left the venture and teamed up with Fox and formed CBS Fox Video. In the previous year, after the merger of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer United Artists forming MGM Entertainment Company, the changes reflected in the home video division, MGM UA Home Video. The name would be kept for 16 years. Then in 1998, with the rise of the DVD format, the company would be changed once again to MGM Home Entertainment. But in the last decade, the name would be pretty much phased out, at least in the USA, while Asian VCDs will still use the name. In 2005, Sony Corporation owned a bit of a stake in MGM, and thus, while MGM Home Entertainment may be phased out, Sony Pictures Home Entertainment would release their products in 2006, when 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment took the reins of video rights, where they stand today, until at least 2020. My focus will be on the many faces of MGM Home Entertainment, from the early MGM CBS days to its more recent namesake. I've been throwing MGM DVD as well. I'm not doing a rainbow scroll, as it's just more of a bumper seen at beginning and end of tapes, so I'm not counting as a real home video logo. And now, let the rankings commence! Number 7. It would make sense with the rise of the DVD market to have the name change, especially the MGM UA name itself being phased out. So naturally, a new on-screen ident would have to be made, and indeed it was. But, could I have done better? I think we can all agree that the MGM Lion is a very iconic movie logo, and it, in its many forms over the years, has simplicity that made it work, so it didn't need much change. But as a video logo, just having home entertainment underneath? Weak sauce! In fact, 1998, the year this debuted in, was a bad year for video logos, and now, I shall go into low rank explaining my case. Fox Video, a good CGI structure, and a nice variant of the Fox Searchlight logo, replaced with this. Okay, this was used concurrent in Fox Video since 1995, but since TCFHE took over Slack and had the boring logo take over, it counts. Live entertainment, a nice blend of CGI animation and majestic orchestrated music, one of the better video logos of the 90s. Then in 1998, Live Entertainment became Artisan Entertainment, and what did they use as their face of the company? How riveting!
No.
And see, this is why 1998 was a bad year for video logos. And considering the past lives I've ever put into them, read animation, there is no excuse. This isn't a very exciting face to have for your video division. They might as well have some kindergartner design this. Look, Dad, what I made! Oh, wow, son! I will use this as a logo of the video division! Alright! So in this sense, we should be lucky Sony and Fox held video rights later on, even the last days of VHS, and be thankful this wasn't used on DVDs. Just having words slapped on there makes this a good candidate for the bottom of this list. Now that said, MGM, after bankruptcy woes in the past 10 years, they're climbing back to respectability with some help from Annapurna Pictures. And maybe, if the cards are played right, MGM will leave Fox and restart their video division. If they do, here's hoping they can find a worthy successor to their logo. Preferably not just their movie logos or the de facto video logo, because I think it's something of a cop-out. Looking at you, Universal! Number 6. Speaking of VHS, this is what they had on MGM CBS first out on the market in 1980, lasting 7 months, October 1980, May 1981, and considering they replaced this with newer MGM CBS logo, you could argue this one was wasted. Well anyway, it's pretty simple animation, something you would see on TV graphics around the time, very low key. I like the green line too and initials of both company names fly, but that's about it really. This definitely isn't one of my favorites because, like I said, it's simple and kind of boring to watch. Generic animation you could use for about anything else. Like the graphics designer got some new AV editing software and wanted to show off everything he learned. That's the feeling I get when I watch this logo. It doesn't have that MGM feel. It might even be okay for use on a local CBS station during its time. It's too bad they didn't incorporate the MGM stylized lion logo, maybe have that fly in and shine near the MGM CBS name. Or even have the CBS logo fly in there too. Give it its own identity. The synth music is okay, but it doesn't really fit here. Seems more like something you would see in a news broadcast during its time.
Good evening, everybody. It's been the last full day of the summer of 1976, and the weather sure let us know today that autumn is just around the corner.
It's one of those that's okay for the time, but there were video logos that are way better, like MCA Disco Vision, or even Magnetic Video. At least they had an identity. It's a shame, as this one could have been better if given a more unique look and have corporate branding. Number 5. This logo I am not too fond of. Bad memories when I was younger. Imagine, you pop in a DVD and suddenly this oval flies in your face and the MGM lion roars at you. It's not helping is the fact that it's not its normal roar we're all familiar with. Instead, it's something loud and intimidating. Then it just shines away of the MGM DVD text meeting together. Again, the sudden appearance of the lion after oval whooshes at you is bound to scare you. Especially those who are afraid of the MGM lion. Come on, show hands for those that are, like me. Come on, no shame in admitting it. That's the first step of recovery. At least the MGM Home Entertainment logo, you knew what was coming. However, the advantage this one has, whereas the regular one didn't, is effort was put into this. You got animation. Sure, it's sudden, but it's something. Plus the lighting effects and logo shines away are good, but the inverse of just the MGM DVD text just merging isn't my cup of tea. Kinda a generic way to end it if you ask me. And what's that roar? Why choose something unfamiliar, and why did it have to be a loud blurring one? Why give us MGM phobes something to fear? And that growling at the end doesn't really give us a sense of relief. And the rest of the music, the chill hits synced when the letters fly by, the last orchestrated hit work well. Some people may be bothered by it, but mostly, it's the roar that gets me. So overall, while it has some okay animation and music, the sudden and loud appearance of Lion just kills it for me. But I'll take a little bit of fear when watching an early MGM DVD over some boring design seen in recent VHS tapes. Heck, that just proves that DVDs were the wave of the future, and VHS was slowly out its way. Number 4. June 1981 would have MGM CBS's second final logo before the MGM Home Video name change. And after how generic the previous logo was, they upped their game with this one. Animation is a definite improvement here. Definitely like the shining metallic letters, and the green home video text fits well with the metallic lettering above. Definitely a product of its time. And the music here, a brief but powerful fanfare, definitely gives us a nice kick. One that makes an announcement saying, "We're proud to show you this upcoming feature." This is based on what the CBS video logo used at the end of the tapes, except for a different ending. It might be jarring to hear how it ends here if you've grown up seeing the first MGM UA home video logo and you're a newbie seeing this, but it's an effective way to sign off the fanfare. Again, my complaint from the previous phase remains the same. They should have incorporated a stylized line somewhere. They had it as a print logo. I wish I could have found a way to use it on screen in some capacity, barring a few appearances it made back in the 60s. But at least here, it has more of an MGM feel, giving a name power. MGM at this time was going downhill from her heyday in the golden age of Hollywood, but their name still meant something, still resonated with moviegoers, and for this home video logo, they got the job done. You could say that it was also wasted as used for a whole year until a new name changed the division, which leads us to... Number 3. After Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer United Artists merger took place, MGM UA Entertainment Company was formed, and naturally, it took on to the home video label as well. CBS would then team up with 20th Century Fox and form CBS Fox Video, so you know they went off to greener pastures, and in this case, so did the MGM Video Division, under the new name MGM UA Home Video. And now for my critique. Now this is what I'm talking about. The one shortcoming of both MGM CBS logos is that they were lacking in an MGM identity, but here, they more than made up for it by including a whole shebang, the lion and the ribbons. They really threw in everything but the kitchen sink in this case. I will admit, when I was younger, this didn't scare me as much as the MGM lion roaring, but I did find it a little intimidating seeing an MGM lion in a circle, the ribbons flying into MGM UA text. Plus the still image of him roaring, that big mouth and those teeth. Can be scary looking to a youngling. To me, it was like a bat out of hell flying in and resting in place. But this isn't a knock, just sharing a case of mild childhood phobia. Back to topic. The animation is good. Once again, going with a more metallic look in the name, this time looking more refined. The MGM lion circle flying in and seeing these ribbons form, it's like it's developing wings, letting them flap as it perches itself on the company name. And home video flying underneath, topping it off with an 80s flash. On top of this, this is combined with the CBS video fanfare that was used concurrent with the previous logo. All this combined gives this logo a total epic feel. Or as epic as you can get in the early 80s. It ties together wonderfully. Again, like the previous logo, gives us we're proud to show this feature feel, but pulled off much better. And over time, as I watched this, I grow to appreciate this more and more. It truly was one of the best offerings of video logos in the 80s. The only knock on this is it became dated as lifespan went to the 90s, as it just came off as simple by then. It would be finally retired in 1993 and receive a much needed facelift. But at the time it debuted, it was definitely one of the top video logos of the period. Number 2. The first MGM DVD logo wasn't inspired once you get past the surprise scare. But 2003 came and the VHS format was on its last legs, and DVD was taking its place. And with that, MGM gave the DVD logo a new look, and it's much better. First you have circles fly by of MGM-owned clips. The thing I find funny is some of these clips of these movies is MGM didn't originally have anything to do with production of these films. In fact, let's examine them. GoldenEye, under UA after the merger. It counts. Thelma and Louise, MGM production. That's 2. Rayman, another post-merger UA film. Now we got Silence of the Lambs, under Orion, released in 1991, 6 years before MGM acquired them. Then you get The Great Escape and Some Like It Hot, both UA films made decades before the merger. Platoon, another film from Orion/Hemdale. And you got Fargo, under Polygram, just a few years before MGM got their library from Universal. Then you finally get to an original MGM production with Legally Blonde. And you end it off with Rocky, originally produced before the merger, before becoming an MGM cash cow franchise. Out of these 10 clips, 6 of them had nothing to do with MGM during the original productions, just had them proclaiming it's ours, proudly. It just goes to show how sparse a pickings MGM had. Just imagine, what if Turner didn't get their library in 1986? you've had The Wizard of Oz, Singing in the Rain, Gone with the Wind. It's kind of sad how MGM just pretty much sold their legacy. They did their best, but then they have clips of films they had nothing to do with the original production of, and passing them off as MGM films. It just makes you ponder about the state of their library, how few gems they originally produced and still own. But they did have UA in the 80s-90s boom period with Bond and Rayman, and MGM did make Thelma and Louise and Legally Blonde, so I guess it could have been worse. But enough about that, this is me nitpicking, so forget it. Anyway, this is a very good logo here, just giving off that feeling of magic, the type you would get from the classical movie studio of old. Having each clip fly by that majestic, uplifting, orchestrated theme definitely helps, and it fits having Rocky in his victory pose as the last clip. Then you finally see the MGM DVD logo with the lion roaring, right behind a red curtain as it flies towards the screen. Huge improvement over the last DVD logo. Unlike that last one where it just appears so suddenly and loud, you start off with the clips and then eventually you wait and expect to see Leo in all his glory, and when he appears in Wars, it's glorious. This logo does a great job of getting you excited to watch the film you're about to see on DVD, and you have to give MGM credit here. At this time, they weren't the same studio they once were, struggling to make ends meet. The days of old when they're known as having more stars than there are in the heavens were long gone, but given the effort, they can bring back the magical feeling they had from the golden era of Hollywood. They had a self-respect for themselves, and the legacy they left in the entertainment business, and given the chance, they could easily make you forget that their best days are over, give you the illusion that they are the most powerful name in the movie industry. Even some of their recent films at the time didn't exactly deliver anymore. And now to recap before we get to number 1. Just kidding. Don't want to do that. That's tacky. Why go over what we went through already? Don't you hate it when the top 10 lists do that? Let's just get this out of the way. And my number 1 choice is... In 1993, the first MGM UA home video logo had went past its expiration date, and it was time for a new face. Technological achievements in computer animation have improved by this point, so they took advantage and they pulled it off. Heck, I can even say it's a masterpiece. Great animation and music, plus they put in that MGM magic. As if showing off what they owned, they went back to their roots, showed why MGM has a feeling of glamour from the old days of Hollywood. Starting off the roller coaster animation, we're taken through a ride for the film strip back in time, and we start off with seeing Jackie Lion roaring, bringing back vivid memories from the old days. Then we pan away from the film strip, revealing to be part of the ribboning of the current face of Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Leo, who does his own roaring. He eases back, perching himself above, he roars again and turns gold. Following that is the MGM UA home video text appearing, then giving off a nice shine right before it fades out. And all to the opening theme of The Wizard of Oz, one of the most iconic films to ever come from the studio. Making a more dramatic and majestic rendition of it adds to it. Now this is how you do a video logo. This is one roller coaster ride worth the price of admission. And what a ride it is! We begin and start off with Jackie before going to Leo, just to let you know that I haven't forgot what made him great in the first place. Why the Metro Goldwyn Mayer name is special. Ditto for the Wizard of Oz music. And this is one that will definitely give you excited for the feature about to watch. This makes it worth digging up and watching your old VHS tapes. Heck, they just make a few appearances on MGM's first DVD releases. This is a logo that can get you in the mood to watch a film from the classical era. And thankfully, they still had video rights to their old films owned by Turner during its time, like the aforementioned Wizard of Oz. While the regular version is definitely a candidate for a masterpiece, the closing logo lacks the same magic as the lion roaring through the whole duration kind of hampers things. But I guess that's Leo's way of saying goodbye, so I guess it's okay. And one thing that's weird is during the MGM Home Entertainment days, on VHS, they still use the stills of this for the preview screens, like Coming Soon to a Theater Near You, now available on video cassette, those bumpers. Having an MGM UA name used at this point makes them look out of touch. But what am I saying? They even used the rainbow scrolls on MGM UA home video then too. MGM, I know at this point, VHS was a dying format, and DVD was the way of the future, but does that mean you couldn't put effort? Look at Columbia TriStar SPHE VHS tapes at the time. For those bumpers, for each company name change, they also reflected in their bumpers. They put in effort in their outdated products. Why couldn't you? But again, I'm ranting. I can be good at it. But anyway, this logo, which pays homage to their old days, is definitely one that qualifies as the best of MGM Home Entertainment. Heck, the best of the 90s definitely, even one of the best home video logos ever made. Going back and paying homage to the past works really well, and again, especially if watching an older movie. And that's the first episode of Logo Rankings. What do you think of my thoughts? Do you agree or no? Please comment below. Let me hear your rankings. If you disagree with me, fine. Opinions can be different as long as you don't act like an obnoxious angry fanboy. Won't be taking that crap. Just keep it cool. And thank you for watching. God bless. Good night, everybody. Before I wrap up the video, let me shine a spotlight on another logo channel, the Eric Core Inc. logo channel. You can say this is quite an underrated logo channel. He's not talked about a lot like great uploaders like Logic Smash, Pepsi 9072, or Second Blob, but this guy has a lot of great finds. Give him a sub today if you haven't already. And now, I'm done.